I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Nevada Commission for the Reconstruction of the V&T Railway. It's Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. The time is 9:08 a.m., and we are here in the Carson City Community Center Robert Bob Kroll Boardroom. Ooh, that felt good. With that, Tamar, could I get a roll call, please?
Chair Peterson.
Present.
Vice Chair Mitchell. He's online, right?
I'm here.
Yes.
Treasurer Cruz. Secretary Hicks.
Here.
Commissioner Schmitter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Perfect. Thank you. If everybody could please rise, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Great, thank you. Oh, thank you, Sherry. With that, we'll move on to agenda item 4, public comment. I am not seeing any public comment in the room. Anybody on the phone? Hearing none, we will go ahead and move on to agenda item 5. For possible action, approval of minutes of the April 24th, 2024 meeting. Anybody have any edits or changes or anything they'd like to see in the minutes? If not, if I could get a motion, that would be super.
I move to approve the minutes of April 24, 2024.
Perfect, thank you.
Second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Oh, okay, no, great. Okay, perfect. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. With that, I think, Jennifer, you are on?
I'm on.
Perfect. Okay. I am going to go ahead and take item number 8 out of order right now, just while we have Jennifer on the line. So with that, we'll come back to 6 and 7. We'll skip to agenda item 8. For possible action, discussion of possible action regarding the V&T Commission final budget for fiscal year 2025. And with that, I will go ahead. Give me 1 second here. Pursuant to NRS 354.598, interested persons must be given an opportunity to be heard regarding the tentative budget. I will first call out for questions from the public. Are there any questions from the public? Any input? Okay, hearing no input from the public, I will open up to the commission to discuss if there are any changes to be made in the fiscal year 24-25 tentative budget. And Jennifer, if you don't mind maybe just giving us a quick summary, that would be super.
Okay, this is Jennifer. Can you hear me?
We can, yes, thank you.
Okay, great. We only made a few changes in the budget from the tentative that the board requested. We have added in capital outlay, a shuttle or a van. We've also moved the website build to professional services. And we have put in a miscellaneous contributions revenue to counterbalance the van, as well as the intergovernmental support of an additional $25,000 for the survey. And I believe that's the only changes we made. Sherry can probably confirm that.
We did add an additional $4,000 for professional service for a shuttle driver and an additional $4,000 for maintenance and fuel for the shuttle.
Thank you, Sherry. And those additions were underneath supplies and services as well,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Correct. The other change we were able to make, because it came in just in the nick of time, was our insurance. We got our final insurance quote, so we were able to lower that a little. But then we added a little bit more insurance for the shuttle.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Sherry. Does any commissioner have any questions regarding the final budget? Super. Great job. Again, thank you for getting this all set and in place. Anybody want to make a motion? Nobody? No. Oh. Don't be nervous, Jennifer. They're just deliberating amongst themselves who wants to make the motion.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
move to,
maybe I won't get on my plane.
I move to approve the V&T Commission final budget for fiscal year 2025.
Thank you for that motion, Stephanie. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Great, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Sherry. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Can I please ask that Can I please ask that as many board members that you have live at the meeting sign that budget that Sherry has, please, so we can submit it?
Absolutely.
We need
Yep.
2 wet signature copies.
Yes. Yep. I printed an extra
Great.
one, so you'll get 3 of them. You can frame one if you'd like in your office, Jennifer. So
Awesome. Thank you. You guys have a great meeting.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Safe travels. Take care. Thank you, Jennifer. All right. With that, we will go back and attack item number 6. For possible action, discussion of possible action regarding the V&T statement of accounts payable checks paid April 1st through the 30th, 2024. The V&T Commission will review the invoice listing for accounts payable checks totaling $10,381.67 paid April 1st through the 30th, 2024. Are there any questions on this particular item? Hearing none, if I could get a motion?
I move to approve the payable checks paid April 1st through 30th, 2024.
Thank you for that motion, Stephanie. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All right, thank you, Michelle. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Great, motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you. We'll move on to agenda item 7 for possible action, discussion of possible action regarding the V&T Commission's fiscal year 23-24 adjusted budget reports for the period ended April 30th, 2024. The commission will review the comparative statement of adjusted revenue totaling $1,410,838.80 and expenses totaling $1,279,195.85 through April, and make a determination as to whether to approve the report. Are there any questions on this particular item? Please, Michelle, go ahead.
And I'm sorry I don't have my hard copy, but was this the item that had a highlight? Something was highlighted. And what was that?
I think it was GL 221-58032 bank credit card fees.
Yes, sorry.
And what was highlighted was $1,042.72. You have a question about the highlight?
Yes.
Why? Oh, okay. Sherry, do you mind addressing that?
Yeah, I believe that was because we were kind of crossing over, trying to get this finished while comptroller's office was finalizing their numbers, and they didn't get the credit card fees in the final budget numbers yet. The credit card fees are from when we sold tickets in April from Fair Harbor. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that will get reconciled in May's.
It might even
Comparatives
be in there
or-
right now. I think that
Okay.
last thing didn't get in before they printed the budget, so I could post.
Gotcha. Okay. So
But we got all the revenue done. I think that's what we were
Okay.
focusing on,
Sure,
to making sure we had the
to
revenue
reconcile, yeah.
updated for April.
Yeah, but you feel like when we see this for May, then it will be correctly
Yes.
reallocated. Okay,
Right.
perfect. Does that work for you, Michelle? Okay, great. All right. Are there any questions? And Clay, forgive me for not asking you each time. Do you have any questions?
Oh, quite all right. Everything's good. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. If there are no questions, could I get a motion on agenda item 7, please?
I move to approve the budget reports.
Thank you for that motion. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Great. Motion carries unanimously. All right, we will move on to agenda item 9 for discussion only. So these are monthly non-action items, and we will take up 9A, Executive Assistant Update. Sherry Bailey, please take it away.
Good morning. Sherry Bailey. Well, I'm excited to be able to report that Mark Twain Days and Mother's Day were a great success. Mother's Day, we were sold out both mornings. Everybody, when they came off the train, seemed super happy. Mark Twain, we had about 170 riders. So it ended up being good. It was kind of a poll at the last minute, but I think we pulled it off very well. Not not sure exactly what, want to know. I have my notes. We made a little bit of money that weekend.
Mhm.
Let's see, the following weekend, this past weekend, the 18th and 19th was a little light. So we had 160 riders, I believe, for both days.
We had 88 on the 18th and 70 on the 19th.
Right, so we're a little behind the eight ball, but good news is, we have a little event coming for Father's Day Sunday. We're gonna serve some refreshments and Bloody Marys and little treats for dads, so we'll keep it on the cheap, but just kind of honoring dads a little bit. And that's getting almost sold out, right?
That's awesome. Well, and Candy, I know you'll come up in a minute, but huge thanks to Tom, you, the full team, Sherry, because that was quite a weekend, I think, for all of you, 3 straight days of trains. So I couldn't be happier, with the
Well, good.
outcome. Obviously, I would have loved to have sold out all of the tickets for Friday's train, but we did sell out Saturday and Sunday, which I think was great. And I know that people were certainly enjoying Carson City and Virginia City, throughout the course of the weekend. So I think that
Right.
from a visitor perspective, I think we achieved a really good goal there to move people between our 2 cities. So
Right, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, we did work well together, I think, and we have a couple of tweaks, but especially Mark Twain Days is new, so.
yeah.
And we
no,
had
I
a bunch of
agree.
people on the
Yeah.
train didn't know what the heck they were doing, me included, so.
No, it was fun. I mean, we had the different performers, and I know that's kind of an acquired taste probably, if you like poetry or you like music, but just the idea of mixing things up, I thought was moving in a different direction, right? Trying to make it an overarching experience, right? So I'm sure there's some tweaks that we can, when we follow up, when Eric gets back into town and everything, we'll follow up and debrief and all that good stuff.
Right,
So
right.
can I ask a question? How are we looking for this coming weekend? Are we?
We're sold out Saturday.
Candy's saying we're sold out Saturday. Awesome.
Oh,
Do you know
yes.
how many tickets we have left for Sunday?
Might be able to look up quickly here.
Oh, okay.
And I
just
just looked
curious.
last night as well. Oh, Saturday, we're almost sold out. I did write it down.
Okay.
Sunday, we have 80 tickets left
Tickets,
for
okay.
Sunday.
And it's Steam this weekend, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So perfect.
We
Okay.
seem to be struggling a little bit on the weekends with diesel, but we're not full on into summer, so that might change.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Sorry for hogging the floor. Any questions for Sherry? Clay, any questions for Sherry?
I was just going to ask if this last weekend was diesel. I'm assuming it was.
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct, Clay.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Super. Nothing else? Okay. Great. Well, let's get Candy up here and move on to 9B, Operations and Trains Report.
Good morning, Candy Duncan. In addition to what Sherry was just saying, what we were saying about diesel, one of the things I noticed, even though it was a slower crowd, I worked on the train on Sunday, and it seemed like there were really a lot of people from out of town. So I think that it's good that we're running as many weekends as we are, because I think we're capturing people who are here and trying to figure out what it is they should do. And we've almost always got a train, which I think is really going to turn into even better years to come now that people can depend on us always being here. So I thought that was exciting. The only other thing, I sent Tom an email to see if he had anything he wanted me to say, but I haven't heard from him. But I do know that he would like you to know that he'll be setting up the retail shop. We're going to start setting that up on Friday. So this weekend we'll have a retail shop ready to go. And Sherry and I have worked to make the depot, and well, other people too, a lot of us have been out there cleaning it up and trying to make it look good. So I think it's looking pretty good. And when we get the merchandise in there, I think it'll look a lot better. I don't know about, I know that there is a rail bike now in the waiting area at the depot. And I know that Tom is working hard to make rail bikes a reality for this year, but I don't know really any more details than that. I know he's got someone in mind to work down there at Eastgate to sell the tickets and everything. So I know he's trying his best to get it all ready to go. So I'm sure you'll be the first to know.
Could I just add, yeah, it looked cool. And I know that's a prototype, because I did talk with Tom a little bit about it. The safety features that he's built in are incredible. It's very low profile, so it's not like you're stepping and then, a foot to go and you fall, you'd fall out. Not that I'm saying people fell out, but, and then it has, the floor is built out, right? So if you take your feet off the pedals, they're not dangling, right? So you can just rest them on the floor. And,
Yeah.
and he said that was a prototype. Obviously, there's been some additional enhancements and improvements. I think the motor is the issue.
Yeah.
That he's not as a problem, but he's working through trying to get something designed
Getting
that
that.
will work, with the electric motor assist and the braking and all that integration. And then I think he's also working on something to have the shade structure, but something in the middle. So imagine like you're stepping into the car, and you can actually grab onto a handle just to assist yourself, and then almost like a car, you pull yourself in, right? And then building a canopy structure into that won't fly back at the person behind. So he's got some thoughts and ideas around that. So, but I appreciate the attention to safety for
Right.
sure. So it was cool, and I did not take a picture, which I should have. Unfortunately, I didn't have my camera when I was eyeballing it, But
Should
it
take a
looks
picture, yeah.
neat, and I'm excited. And I'll be honest with you, every show that Stu goes to from my team trade show, they're all asking about when are the rail bikes coming back. We get calls every week about the rail bikes. So our position is, we've said, we look forward to having rail bikes in 2025, just because I think that's more realistic than thinking we'll have something later on this fall.
Who knows?
So yeah, who
Yeah.
knows? We could have some test run, but I don't want to set a false expectation for these tour operator
Right.
people, and then
Oh, that's
we
true.
don't have them, and then they panic.
Yeah.
Like, you told us we were going to have them in the fall, and then it doesn't materialize. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, it looks cool. So thanks Tom for that for sure.
Also, the short line season starts this coming weekend too, on Saturday. So it's all trains every day from now on. So that's exciting. And I think everything really has been running really well. I think the only thing that maybe Tom would want me to mention is that there's a door that faces the track. There's the overhead door, and then right next to it is what's the little man door. And the lock is broken, and I know that Sherry had someone come out, and he said that the whole door had to be replaced or something like that. So I think Tom would like some help in figuring out what we should do about that door, because we can get out of it, but we can't get back in it. So
And along those lines, do we know about the door that faces the kiosk signage, and whether or not that was able to be, because I couldn't get that door to lock.
no, you can get, that's the door I have to use, and I can get it to lock.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys must have the other key then, because my
Maybe
keys wouldn't.
They wouldn't lock it. Oh,
No.
okay.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to be sure that it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't
because that's
open,
really the
so-
only way to get in there now, in and
Okay.
out safe. I mean,
Right.
because
Okay.
you have to be able to lock that door, or else the whole place isn't locked, so.
Correct. Okay.
Well-
Well, I'm glad you guys have the keys then.
Yeah.
Because I tried everything I could when I came back that night, and I could not
You
get.
couldn't do it.
So
Okay.
I'm wondering, I don't know where those doors, who handled those? Is that something we can look up maybe through the accounting system and see
Okay.
about the locks maybe, and try to find out? Although I don't know, those doors are probably
Yeah.
original.
I'm
You know,
pretty
and-
sure it is.
Yeah, when it was built. So
Yeah.
So somebody said it literally would have to put a whole new door in.
Yeah, or a whole new mechanism, and that would be, it's expensive, but it probably needs to get done.
I agree. Yeah, we should definitely get that fixed so we have a second way to get in.
Yeah,
So okay.
So it's been going, excuse me. It has been going between Tom and I a little bit.
Okay.
And I frankly called him and said, help. It's not in
Yeah.
my authority to say, to get this fixed. So
Oh,
apparently he did look into it.
Okay.
So
yeah. Let's
we'll
get
get
it
on it
fixed.
soon.
I mean, I don't think we need to agendize something to fix a door that's broken.
no,
So let's just get it, fixed
Okay.
somehow. Maybe they could rekey it, so we don't have to change keys or whatever. Because then we'll have to swap all the keys out on all the sets for another lock.
right.
Maybe. I don't know. That'd be great.
I
if
don't,
they
well,
could.
I don't know, because there was a key broken off in it at one point, so. I have no idea.
It's not my key because I still have the whole key.
We're not sure. Well, the curious thing is, wasn't it the propane guy that broke the key in the door? Pest control.
Oh, pest control. That means all
But-
of our pest control fees are free for the next year. That's great. Yeah, right.
But the mystery is, nobody can say how the broken key got out of the door. So that is
Yeah,
the mystery.
that's something else with a large magnet. I think.
Maybe. I don't know. There's something weird out there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just, whatever you guys can do to get, Sherry, if you work with Tom, get it fixed, that would be super. Cool. And sorry for cutting you off.
No,
Oh,
that's, I
okay.
think really that's all.
Who has multiple questions for Candy? Anybody?
I have a question. for
Okay,
Sherry.
yes, go ahead. go
What
ahead.
do we decide to do on the quote?
The quote on the ticket, I
Oh,
pass that off to
okay,
Mr. Peterson, Chairman
so-
Peterson.
Well, I know we don't have this agendized, but I. We did. I like the first one of the two. So that's the one I think, if you're,
Not attached to it.
Okay.
It sounded like it was
yeah.
kind of an immediate thing, so.
Yeah, so
I was
can
on
I
the
talk a little bit about tickets or not? Or Mihaela, just real quick, while we're talking about train operations for ticketing? Is that okay?
Okay, as long as you're not going to
We
take
won't- yeah,
action, it's
yeah.
slightly related to
Okay.
train operations.
Perfect.
But
So
I
let me,
question-
let me give a quick update. So the original ticket, Chris on my team was finally able to work kind of with the designers up there with Kelly to get the ticket in a place that we could go 12 up. It's a little bit smaller.
It is.
That was the paper that we actually had and I think that is special paper, right? So I think it comes in smaller ream sizes of 200. So I believe we were able to print about 5,500 and change of that particular ticket. And then I did see Trainco come in. We've been a little preoccupied with all of our events the last 2 weeks. So I just went ahead and told Chris, print as many as you can. We'll get those cut with the paper that we have. And then Chris will go back. We'll get paper reordered. We'll need Sherry's speak card on that because I don't have enough authority on mine. But then we'll do another run with the second design, replacing, as we had previously discussed, the Agatha Christie quote with a Mark Twain quote is the plan of attack. So I assure you, by June, we'll have the second set of tickets in place. So, yeah. But thank you for sending those through. Cool.
Yeah, the passengers really liked them when I handed them
Good,
out this
yeah.
last weekend.
I know it's a
They were
little smaller,
impressed.
but also I was just thinking be a little more efficient too, because we can go, again, 12 up, and I'm probably not saying this right, but all that stuff, and then the bleeds were in there, and I don't know, it just worked out where we could get more tickets on a sheet of paper, and we're using a little bit of a different paper as well, just to kind of with the design, I guess, or
Right.
whatever the case may be. So I thought they came out very nicely too. So yeah. So anyway, thank you, Chris. Shout out. So cool. Any other questions? Okay. Clay, any questions on your end?
No questions. All sounds good.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and move on to 9C, our next meeting, right here in this building, June 26, 2024, at 9 a.m. With that, we'll move on to agenda item 10, commissioner comments or announcements and requests for information. I just wanted to say, and I know there might be some comments, can I just throw out that the Territory Advisory Committee met a week ago to go through the Commission on Tourism grants, and I want to thank Sherry for her work on our grant as it relates to a website redesign. There was a little confusion about a particular component of our application because we had some additional services that were in the total of the proposal. Having said that, the Territory Advisory Committee recommended moving forward with the grant less maintenance because that's not something that's actually eligible, even though we technically our grant request didn't include maintenance. So the request was for, I think, 13 and change, like 13,875 instead of the 19,875. So that's what's been recommended to move forward to the Commission on Tourism, and they will be meeting, I believe, if all goes according to plan, June 4th. So for our next meeting, we'll know for sure where things stand, but the panel itself pre-TAC, and full disclosure, I sit on TAC as the Reno Tahoe Territory Chair, but they liked the grant. They thought it was a well-written grant, so good job, Sherry. So that'll help us out moving forward. And again, how we did that was with Mahala's help. We looked into the master services agreements that are in place for state agencies, and we selected a vendor to give us a quote based on that MSA agreement, because Mahala said that we could tap into that. And the beauty of it is we don't have to go through a 4, 5, 6 month RFP process, right? Because that's technically already occurred, right? So anyway, hopefully we'll know for the next meeting and then bring forward a contract, which I think will be super. So yeah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to just let the board or the commission know about the status update on that front. Other comments? Yeah, please go ahead, Stephanie.
I wanted to update the committee, and Clay, jump in anywhere in this conversation. But we had an opportunity. There were some other conversations that were going on that brought to our attention that the Government Affairs Committee was meeting the end of this month, interim session for the legislature. And one of the things we had talked about as a group in this commission was looking at ways that maybe the state could help us out in the future, and the fact that we don't really have staff on board, and that causes us challenges and difficulties. So we have an opportunity to go before, and Carson City and Story County have been working on this for the last few weeks since we found out the availability of us to go forward. We're going to give a presentation to the interim Government Affairs Committee on May 30th at 9 a.m. Basically talking about the history of the V&T Railway Commission, our concerns and challenges, and then, potentially have some conversations about, maybe there's some policy decisions that can be made to help the commission. We have submitted a presentation to the committee. The agenda will be out on the 23rd, tomorrow, I think at like 9 a.m., and the presentation should be within that packet. So at that point, everybody can see it. But this is our opportunity to get before them before the next session if we were going to try to propose any changes to how the committee, or how the commission was established or how it's being run. So we just didn't want to miss that opportunity since we're going towards it from the city and the county's perspective. We didn't bring it forward to the commission for conversation, but we still also need to take it to our own board. So that's something we'll be doing as well. Is, again, this was an opportunity we didn't want to miss, so we kind of jumped on it. We have to take any further discussion to our board of supervisors, and likewise, Clay would have to take it to his commission as well. So we just wanted to update you all that that's happening.
Thank you. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate that. Any other comments? Announcements? Okay. With that, we will move on to our second and final option, agenda item 11, public comment. Anybody want to make a public comment at this time? Oh my goodness, I guess not. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you.